The featured tap dancer was the new 49er wide receiver. There are lots of people here, and I should begin to identify some of them for you. Before we go any further, obviously we need a little interlude to set something up, because incident after incident after incident is going to happen on this stage today. But it's going to take a little bit of time. And so while I'm doing that, or while they're doing that, let me identify some of the people. You saw a moment ago a dramatic photograph of the 4 other mayors of this town. Art and Sherry Agnos, Joseph Alioto, Frank Jordan, George Christopher, Nancy Pelosi with the white gloves. Look at that. Can you believe it? Some of everybody is here. A whole quorum of the Board of Supervisors. Susan Leal, Michael Yockey. I think I saw Barbara Kaufman. I saw Sue Bierman. I saw them all. They were all just floating through. Tom Amiano, they were all here. Consuelo Martin, people from the writer's world. Armistead Marpin, just about everybody you can think of that's ever been mentioned in a column. Ab Adams, Orlando Cepeda, you name it. Willie Mays, you name it. They were all here. And you'll hear me running these names time and time again. Wilkes Bashford, the man who dresses Herb. Stanley Gaddy, the man who does his flowers. Everybody that you can think of that's ever been mentioned in that column who's somewhere in this town. Some from out of town. Nancy Hemmons floated in here from Dallas, and that's the lady that did so much for our museum. You name it, one after another. Charlotte Maillard-Swig has tapped everybody that's anybody in this town. And I'll run the names by you as we roll. And if we're now ready to roll, a woman whom Herb met 49 years ago, so she says. I don't believe that. Maybe 25. Herb would one time hung out with Turk Murphy and the guys who played on the waterfront. And they played Dixieland jazz. Pat Yankee has continued to perpetuate Dixieland jazz. Now sit back and relax, or stand tall and look forward. Pat Yankee and her group.
Mr. Phil Howe, my conductor and leader on clarinet and soprano, Mr. Rex Allen, Mr. Duncan James, Mr. Bill Naraki, and Shota Asabi, who have all played for her one or another times through the years. And my husband used to be a reporter in 1938 when you were on the Chronicle. But honey, obviously I wasn't born yet, so it's all right. Okay. Here's San Francisco Bay Blues. I got the blues when my daddy left me by the San Francisco Bay. He took an ocean liner, went so far away. I never meant to treat him so bad. He was the best friend I ever had. When he said goodbye, he made me cry. I wanna lay right down and die. Well, I ain't got a nickel, I ain't got a lousy dime. If he don't come back, I think I will lose my mind. If he never comes back to stay, gonna spend a brand new day just walking with my daddy by the San Francisco Bay. sitting down looking through my back door, I'm wondering which way I'm gonna go. That man I'm so crazy about don't want me no more. But I think I'll grab a freight train just because I'm feeling blue. And I think I'll ride to the end of the line, thinking only of you. Meanwhile, in another city, I'm just about to go insane. Yes, I thought I heard my daddy's voice, the way he used to call my name. If he ever comes back to stay, gonna spend a brand new day just walking with my daddy by the San Francisco Bay. Let's go now. Well, I'm walking with my daddy by the San Francisco Bay, yeah. He took an ocean liner, went so far away. I didn't mean to treat him so bad. He was the best friend I ever had. When he said goodbye, he made me cry. I wanna lay right down and die. Well, I ain't got a nickel, I ain't got a lousy dime. If he don't come back, I think I will lose my mind. If he never comes back to stay, gonna spend a brand new day just walking with my daddy by the San Francisco Bay. Well, I'm walking, talking, hugging, chunking by that old bay down in San Francisco, by the San Francisco Bay. I don't mean Frisco, down in San Francisco, by the San Francisco Bay. Thank you. Thank you very much. We love you, Herb. We love you. We love you.
30 years ago, I started hanging out with Herb. We made every bar, every music place, anything that happened after nightfall in this town. If you would hang with Herb, you would eventually experience it. And let me tell you, the people that he wrote about and write about, they flowed through his life and through his column, and included San Francisco's famous bike messengers as they move along and do their thing. Very carefully, and I don't know what the drill is, but they invariably would set up. Herb would chronicle exactly what they do. Sometimes they'd stop, mix a martini, do a number, but continue to charge whomever they were charging for the time they rode by. Have you ever witnessed bike messengers going so slow, being so decent, not running people down, not getting in the way, not running life, limb, or risk, or anything else? All part of the scene of San Francisco. And Herb wrote about them. He wrote about them individually. I think he may have even had an occasion to ride with them. And during that time period, it made for one of the most colorful cities in the world. This is the only city in I think, the country where people have been arrested for being drunk on a bicycle. Today, however, with me as mayor, you have immunity, guys. Carry on. This is a different town, a different time, and it's all because Herb has chronicled your existence. My guys, one after another. But look how slow and decent and nice they appear to be. This is not the group that Herb wrote about, ever. This is not the group that Herb wrote about. As a matter of fact, a man who actually started as a bike messenger at one time in this town, and he was so unsuccessful at that, but so extraordinarily interesting, till somebody picked him up, put him on television, and you know the rest. Ladies and gentlemen, San Francisco's most famous cross-dresser, Mrs. Doubtfire, Robin Williams.
Willie Brown! Willie Brown, people! Hardest working suit in show business. Somebody's ride. We must. Willie, thank you for wearing that lovely Armani surplus. The lovely Wilkes Bashford gift certificate. And now, Herb, I'm very happy to have you here today, because not only does this man love San Francisco, he loves Paris. And I have a brief story from you from Paris. They once asked Madame Charles de Gaulle, they said, Madame de Gaulle, what is the most important thing in life? And she said, happiness. And they said, Madame de Gaulle, what do you mean? And she said, it is so much better than unhappiness. So this man who has brought us such happiness, you know, he has brought happiness to the city. Such joy he brings to us. Here on the Great Wide Way, we now remember it was 1940. I remember meeting Herb Caen. We were just sitting there on the lovely pier. You wrote a column a while ago about what it's like at the airport for those little baggage things that they charge you money for. And now, on behalf of the airport and Bijan, you have your very own gold-plated baggage cart. That's right, Herb. Your very own gold-plated. You just have to leave a $20,000 deposit. Here it is right here. Let me bring it over to you. The best in the West. Ladies and gentlemen, Herb Caen. Kick it, Dad.
There's another collection of people who are indigenous to this city. As a matter of fact, Herb put them in his column, and you might call them the news. You know who I'm talking about. Huey Lewis and the news!
Thank you very much. We're very flattered to be included in this special day. I like most of you, grew up with Herb. My mother used to read me Herb Caen before I could read, and we're just very happy to be here, especially with all these prominent San Franciscans like Robin Williams and Willie Mays and Eddie DeBartolo and Bill Walsh and Mayor Brown and his posse. But we thought we'd just do a couple a cappella songs real briefly for you. And this one we want to dedicate to Herb and his new bride, Anne. As we stroll along together, holding hands, walking all alone. So in love are we two that we don't know what to do. So in love, in a world of our own. So in love, as we stroll by the sea together, under stars twinkling high above. So in love are we two that we don't know what to do. So in love, so much in love, so in love, so in love, so much in love, so in love. We stroll along together. I tell you, I need you oh so much. I love you, my darling. Can you tell it in my touch? As we stroll down the aisle together, we will vow to be together till we die. So in love are we two that we came to say I do. So in love, it doesn't happen every day. So in love, in a world world of our own.
So in love,
So in love,
so in love,
so much in love,
so in love,
so in love,
so in love,
so much in love.
so in love.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. We're going to do one more here before we get out of here, and this can be an audience participation number. That's a hint. Don't be shy. Loud and proud now. If you know the words, sing along, and if you don't, just clap your hands. They say it's all right. They say it's all right. Say it's all right. Have a good time. 'Cause it's all right. Oh, it's all right. Now we're gonna move it slow. When the lights are low. When you move it slow, it feels like a moan. 'Cause it's all right. Oh, it's all right. And now listen to the beat and kind of tap your feet, yeah. 'Cause you got soul, everybody knows that it's all right. Oh, it's all right. When you wake up early in the morning, feeling sad like so many of us do, hum a little soul, or make life your goal. And surely something's gotta come to you, and you gotta say it's all right. They say it's all right, yeah. Say it's all right, have a good time, 'cause it's all right. Oh, it's all right. Everybody clap your hands and give yourself a chance. 'Cause you got soul, everybody knows that it's all right. Oh, it's all right. Someday I'll find me a woman who will love and treat me real nice. When my love's gotta know, my love will hold from morning, noon, into the night. And she's gotta say that it's all right. They say it's all right, yeah. Say it's all right, have a good time, 'cause it's all right. Oh, it's all right. Everybody clap your hands. Give yourself a chance. 'Cause you got soul, everybody knows that it's all right. Oh, it's all right. You got soul, everybody knows that it's all right. Oh, it's all right. Thank you.
As my career unfolded in San Francisco, chronicled weekly, sometimes daily, in Herb Caen's column, it became very clear. He set the standard and the style for me. I attempted to emulate him. I went to the hats. There are only two cats in San Francisco that wear hats. It's Herb and Willie. And it's clearly fitting that now that I have my own hatterer, that on this day, Herb receives one of the Willie brims. And I intend to see that he gets a Willie brim. Where in the hell is the Willie brim? While the Willie brim is coming, you may have noticed that's a Willie brim. Comes from Ruth Dewson, and I'm on my way over to present it. Now, some of you noticed that as Robin was presenting the shopping cart, police department delivered a person in the rear of the car with the doors locked. Was Nash Bridges. He has been confined to custody for some conduct unbecoming a police officer, messing with me and the movie crew. Don Johnson. Nash Bridges.
How are you, brother?
A newcomer to our town, and a man who was now part of the scene. And he's cataloged, he sings at John's Grill and does a lot of those things. And I don't know what the hell he was doing coming in a police car, but he did.
I was actually late getting here, and thanks to the San Francisco's finest, they rushed me right in here. But I was a little embarrassed about breaking up Robin's fine speech here. So I got out.
Nobody noticed you.
I just want to say that I am new to the city again, but I started out here so many years ago, and one of the reasons that I even have a career is that Herb Caen wrote about the show that I was a part of when I was 18 years old. Until he wrote about it, I think we had a house of about 4 people. The day that he wrote about it, we were sold out for the next 7 months, and that's what launched my career. So, thank you, God.
Ladies and gentlemen, Don Johnson, man who does Nash Bridges. You saw Jan and Cecil Williams over there. You saw Milton Marks over there. And you're going to hear a little bit more about Jan and Cecil in a minute. Right now, a man who works closely with me in San Francisco to keep this city together. When the city paused to do Herb Caen's Day, the Board of Supervisors participated. When the city decided to do something about this waterfront, with Dennis Bowie and the Port Authority doing it, it was led in part by the president of the Board of Supervisors, Mr. Kevin Shelley. Kevin Shelley, come on up here.
Thank you. Herb, you have accomplished the seemingly impossible in San Francisco. You brought unanimity and harmony to the San Francisco Board of Supervisors. Thank you, Herb. Some weeks ago, we passed a resolution seeking the naming of this promenade after San Francisco's greatest, Herb Caen. And I'm delighted today to present you, on behalf of all my colleagues, Angela and Mabel, Barbara, Tom, Michael, Leslie, Amos. If I don't mention all of them, I don't get my vote. So bear with me here, ladies and gentlemen. Susan, and others who are here with us in spirit, if not in person. It's been said, Herb, that service is the rent that we all pay for living. And in this wonderful city, you have paid many, many lifetimes worth of rent and served our city better than anyone. And today there is such joy throughout San Francisco as we all participate in this joyous occasion. And you have been the best of our past, the best of our present, and the best we all hope to be. Herb Caen Day and Herb Caen Way.
Ladies and gentlemen, a man who entertained and enthralled us in San Francisco for so many years, in person, and for so many years, the whole world, through the cinema and through the stage. A man who just endures and endures and endures. And he's probably the only person that has always gotten favorable mention in Herb Caen's column because he's always deserved it. All the way from New York, with his conductor and the Martini Band, Mr. Joel Gray.
Oh, my honey. Oh, my honey, better hurry and let's meander. Ain't you going to the leader man, ragged meter man? Oh, my honey, better hurry to Alexander's grandstand brass band. Ain't you coming along? Come on in here, it's Alexander's ragtime band. Come on in here, it's the best band in the land. You can hear a bugle call like you never heard before, so natural that you wanna go to war. It's just the bestest band what am. Honey lamb, come on along. Well, let me take you by the hand. Up to the man who is the leader of the band. And if you care to hear the Swanee River played in ragtime, come on along, come on in here. The butcher, the baker, the grocer, the clerk are secretly unhappy men because the butcher, the baker, the grocer, the clerk get paid for what they do, but no applause. They'd gladly bid their dreary jobs goodbye for anything theatrical. And why? There's no business like show business. Like no business I know. Traveling through the country can be thrilling. Standing out in front on opening nights, smiling as you see the theater filling, and there's your billing up there in lights. There's no people like show people. They smile when they are low. Yesterday they told you you would not go far. That night you opened and there you are. Next day on your dressing room, they hang a star. Let's go on with the show, my honey. Oh, my honey. Better hurry to Alexander's grandstand brass band. Ain't you coming along? Let me take you by the hand. Up to the man who is the leader of the band. And if you care to hear the Swanee River played in ragtime, come on in here, 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 come on in here. Alexander, ragtime band. Oh, my honey. Welcome and bienvenue, welcome. Fremde, étranger, stranger. Glücklich zu sehen, je suis enchanté. Happy to see you, bleibe, reste, stay. Welcome and bienvenue, welcome. Im Cabaret, au Cabaret, to Cabaret. Meine Damen und Herren, Mesdames et Messieurs, Ladies and Gentlemen, guten Abend, bonsoir, good evening. Wie geht's? Comment ça va? Do you feel good? Ich bin euer Konferencier. Je suis votre compère. I am your host und sage willkommen, bienvenue, welcome. Im Cabaret, au Cabaret, to Cabaret. Im Cabaret, au Cabaret, to Cabaret. On Herb Caen Way, it's Herb Caen Day. Congratulations, Herb.
Stand up, Joel. All right. On the front row, seated next to Herb Caen, is the woman that I had the great pleasure of participating in the marriage ceremony about almost 2 months ago now. She's none other than Ann Moeller Caen, Mrs. Herb Caen. Seated next to Ann is Herb's beloved Christopher Caen and his bride, Stacy. And Ann's son, Stephen. We were, except for Catherine, the entire wedding party for that occasion. We hummed the bridal march and had a ball, in fact, doing it. Over the years, Herb has written about sports and athletics in this city. There's no one's career that he chronicled more than number 24, Hall of Famer Willie Mays.
Thank you very much, Willie. This is a very good occasion for myself because in 1958, when I came out here, Herb broke me in very cleanly. Every girl I had, it was in the paper the next day. I don't know how he knew. I was wondering what this man was all about because I was out here to play baseball, not to have a love affair. And I got to be very good friends with Herb in the last 4 or 5 years. And if you notice, the last 4 or 5 years, you haven't seen my name in the paper. That's what Willie was talking about. You have to be friend with this man. He doesn't pay when he go in the restaurants, I understand, so that's another thing all the restaurant people are saying. Herb Caen is our guy, and that's very good. But any time you can get a street named after you while you're living, that's great. All the streets I've seen in Palm Springs, everybody's dead. They came Cedar Street. And I think Willie had something to do with that. Don't look, Inez, you had something to do with that, you know it. But it's just so wonderful to see all the people in San Francisco come out to honor a man that have a pen that would do just about anything to get a joke. And I think it's wonderful that the people understand that what he write about is not to harm people. It's just something that he had to do, and he does it very, very well, as you well know. But I think about the athletes. When you say about what did he do for the athletes, I think he made all of them get married very quickly. I know he made me get married because when my little woman said to me, "Who is that lady that did her water about the next day?" I said, "That's you, and you will be my wife," you know. So I am happy just to come by to say hello. I am happy to say to Herb, all the athletes still love you, and looks like Herb Way will run into the ballpark, I was told. So thank you very much, okay?
All right, Willie Mays, the great number 24, Hall of Famer. Robin, would you join me, please? Mr. Williams, would you join me?
I'd like to bring on to the stage right now.
Yes, you're due on the stage, and we together.
Would like to bring up a man who's extremely elegant.
Absolutely. For 46 years.
A man who said, that's the way it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Walter Cronkite.
Thank you all. Lovely reception. Thank you. I can't wait to read the Chronicle tomorrow morning to find out what happened here today. I've been sitting behind some character in a brown hat and haven't been able to see a thing. Herb and I met 53 years ago in London in World War II. And I'd like to take you through our 53 years together, year by year. It's been a wonderful friendship. It's been one that has known absolutely no bounds, it seems to me, of affection for one another. And I'm grateful for those wonderful years. We had some great times together. You know, a celebration for Herb Caen here on the banks of the bay which graces the city that he once called Baghdad. It seems incredible. San Francisco, of course, didn't need Herb Caen to bring it fame, but he put a frame around its gorgeous, glorious image. Those who came to see the picture stayed to admire the frame that enhanced it. Herb Caen has not spared San Francisco his love, as you know, nor has he hidden his occasional disappointment, occasionally his anger in the way she was treated by those he felt defiled her beauty or abused her character. You know, we fellow journalists who love both San Francisco and Herb Caen might whisper among ourselves that there's something uncomfortable about this premier newspaper man's association with his city. To love San Francisco is certainly understandable. In fact, it's almost inevitable. But to have San Francisco love you as San Francisco loves Herb Caen, this columnist, Herb Caen, borders on the unlikely, on the truly incredible. But I shall go forth from this place to testify that I've seen it with my very own eyes, this permanent recognition of Herb Caen's contribution to his city and this great manifestation of a requited love. Herb, step up here.
Me?
Herb Caen, this is the plaque that commemorates the dedication of Herb Caen Promenade. And this will be mounted, of course, to distinguish this boulevard in San Francisco. Herb,
I'm overwhelmed.
congratulations.
Thank you.
You haven't changed at all in 53 years. I mean, no more than I have.
How about that? How about that? I mean, hello, everybody. Wow. I'm overwhelmed. I'm speechless. I'm knocked out. I've been crying and laughing, and it's a day, what can I say? They'll never top this. And the fact that this morning I said I didn't like Herb Caen Promenade too much. I like Herb Caen way better. They went along with it. I thought we were going to be stuck with promenade. That's a French word. Who needs it? I don't even know what it is. I think you spread it on toast or something. Can you hear me? Too bad. You're stuck with me. Actually, I wondered what I was going to say. I mean, Walter didn't tell much about our relationship. It was purely physical. He was going to tell about the war year by year and our friendship together. He was the man who helped win the war. He flew more missions over Germany in B-17s before they had fighter escorts. I mean, he was a gutsy guy. And he was so gutsy that United Press, for whom he worked then, raised his weekly salary from $50 to $75. Hazard pay. Anyway, doesn't anybody work in this town? I mean, who's running the town? I mean, we got 5 living mayors here. Obviously, the grand jury hasn't been doing its job. Man. I was researching, as it were, any writers who had a parade in their honor, and only one showed up in my encyclopedia. Victor Hugo had a parade in Paris when he was about my age. He wrote Les Miserables, and I write miserably, and where's the drummer to go kaboom there? Hey, what a great band. Great band. Incredible band. Well, God, I love this town. I've loved it since before I was born, and I'm going to love it after I'm gone. And it's been the greatest 80 years of my life so far, and it's going to get better. And one day, if I do go to heaven, I'm going to do what every San Franciscan does that goes to heaven. He looks around and says, it ain't bad, but it ain't San Francisco. I like to ramble on about all the years I've spent here. All the years, I remember coming out through the Ferry Building into this incredible maelstrom of noise and streetcars and newsboys. This town was full of newsboys who all had funny lines. Extra, extra, Market Street's run into the Ferry Building. Read all about it. This street was so alive. Now it's alive in a different way, but there were theaters,
this street was the street of streets. Now the streets are everywhere. The streets are full of people, and today proves what I've always felt, that beautiful as this city is the people like you here today that make it the greatest city in the world. So thank you for being here. Thank you for taking time off from your jobs if you have any. Thanks for making me feel like the luckiest guy in the world, which I am. I love you all, and let's keep partying. Let's make it a party day. Thank you. Love. Kisses. Thank you. Thank you.
And now for that walk that he's been doing everything in the world to avoid. It ain't fully dedicated till you do it right. This way, this way, this way. Lead your troops. Lead your troops. Right down the stairs. All right. Lead your troops.